Woo is one of the few Clifton strengths that's also a verb, and not just any verb, one with a history stretching back more than 1,000 years. The word woo comes from the Old English wo yeon, to court, to seek favor, to invite in. In its earliest form, it was about opening a space, showing genuine interest, making an approach, offering a connection. By the 1500s, woo expanded beyond romantic courtship to mean to attract or bring someone over to your side. The focus shifted from one relationship to the broader act of making a first connection, the moment where two strangers become acquainted. When Don Clifton developed the Clifton strengths, he could have chosen persuade or charm. Persuasion, though, can feel transactional. Charm can feel manipulative. Woo is different. It's short. It's warm. It captures the joy of the opening move, the genuine energy in starting something new. Woo signals an active, positive invitation, and it values the process of connection as much as the outcome. All 34 strengths live in one of four domains: executing, influencing, relationship building, and strategic thinking. Not just as categories, but as patterns in motion. That's why we group them into 8 energetic arcs, each one a complete cycle of momentum, connection, trust, and direction. In the founding arc, each theme carries a different kind of energy. Achiever's energy is push, steady, directed output that moves the work forward. It's like a river's current, pressing against the task until it moves. Woo's energy is pull, a magnetic field that draws others closer, changing their state so they want to move with you. Where Achiever invests energy into the thing, Woo invests energy into the connection. Achiever asks, how do we get this done? Woo asks, who's coming with us and how soon can we make them feel welcome? It's the rhythm of this arc. Achiever moves, Woo opens, Relator deepens, Strategic charts the course. It's a hand extended after the first step, and once Woo's energy takes hold, the path ahead feels easier to walk. Woo belongs to the influencing domain, themes that move people to act. And while some influencing themes move people by closing deals or delivering speeches, Woo moves people by creating beginnings. It's the quick bridge from stranger to acquaintance, and the warmth that makes someone feel included from the first moment. Because Woo's energy is in starting relationships, others might misread it as surface level connection, and they might not immediately see the value in that first spark. It can feel to them like conversation for conversation's sake, until they realize what opens because of it. And yet, without someone to start the conversation, to make the room feel lighter, many participants and projects never get off the ground. Woo's power is renewable. Meeting someone new doesn't drain you, it fuels you. The exchange itself is a source of momentum. And in the right context, Woo doesn't just start things, it shapes the emotional tone that makes everything else possible. Every strength can overextend itself. Woo is no exception. When Woo becomes the default setting, you might find yourself focusing so much on starting new connections that you leave less space for depth. In overuse, Woo can move on too quickly after the first connection, mistake friendliness for trust before it's earned, spread energy too thin across too many people or groups, lean on charm when patience or listening would be more effective. If you hold Woo, you don't need to be on all the time. Your presence is often enough. Let others approach you sometimes. That balance helps your influence last. Woo is at its best when it's intentional, when you choose the openings you create. Develop it by practicing the handoff, connecting someone and then staying long enough to see the relationship take root. Pairing woo with a depth-oriented partner, like relator or analytical, and learning to read cues, noticing when your energy is welcome and when it's time to take a step back. Fully maximized, woo creates a culture of inclusion. It changes how groups form, how people enter, and how they stay. For some, woo's constant outreach can feel distracting, especially in high focus or task heavy environments. It can be misread as avoiding work or chasing novelty. Here's the reframe: woo isn't avoiding, it's opening. And without openings, many opportunities never arrive. To help woo succeed in a team, family, or with a child, give them the first touch point. Let them welcome new members or set the tone in a room. Clear early space. Avoid front-loading rules or heavy detail. And recognize their impact. Measure contribution by who they brought in and how quickly trust was built. In children, woo can look like talking to everyone. Nurture it. They're practicing the art of approach, and with guidance, they'll learn to aim it. A fully developed woo changes the entry point for everything. Teams form faster, clients engage sooner, and strangers feel like collaborators before the work even begins. Woo doesn't just make people feel good, it makes things possible. In the world of influencing, every theme moves people, and each leads in its own way. Woo stands at the open gate, removing social hesitation and inviting you inside. You may already feel yourself taking that first step. Activator rings the starting bell, propelling action forward before the echo fades. Command speaks with the captain's voice, directing the way and expecting you to follow. Communication becomes the storyteller, shaping words that carry you into the moment. Competition lights the scoreboard, driving you to aim higher with every move. Maximizer works like a sculptor, refining good into great, great into exceptional. Self-assurance anchors the room, steady enough that you can borrow some of its calm. Significance shines as the beacon, drawing eyes and energy toward what matters most. And in this landscape, woo is the first threshold you cross. It doesn't push, pull, or persuade. It opens the space so everything else can begin. While Clifton's strengths aren't public for most people, you can feel woo's pattern in certain public figures, the ones who make you feel like you already belong in the conversation. Imagine Tom Hanks greeting you with that easy, genuine warmth that instantly puts you at ease. Picture Julie Andrews, gracious and attentive, making you feel seen as if you were the only person in the room. And think of Keanu Reeves, with his quiet charm and humility, meeting each moment as an opportunity to connect without pretense. Different styles, same energy, 3 open gates into the same room, each making the first step feel effortless. If you hold woo as a top strength, you already know the feeling. You walk into a room, catch someone's eye, and within minutes you're swapping stories like old friends. People remember how you make them feel in those first moments. Even the most natural gifts sharpen with intention. Imagine making that first impression work for you in any setting. Imagine choosing your impact in a meeting, on a stage, in a single handshake. That's why I recommend The Charisma Myth by Olivia Fox Cabane. It takes what many treat as magic, charisma, and shows you the science behind it. You'll learn how to be fully present so people feel your complete attention, how to project warmth so they trust you right away, and how to carry just enough power that your ideas stick. If you know someone with woo at the top of their strengths, give them this book. You're not just offering a resource, you're opening a door and saying, I see this in you, and I want to see it fully developed. Pair it with the 5-gear method, starting here to spark interest, then moving step by step into deeper, more technical works, and you give them a path to turn woo from a natural spark into a refined, masterful skill. This week, notice where your magnetic field naturally draws people in, and how the energy in the room shifts once it does. Or notice who in your world has that gift. Give them the space to use it. It's often the first step toward everything that follows.